everyone, I'm your female otaku, and I'm here to review episode 2 of Occultic 9. Now, I have quite a bit of things to talk about. First off, let me explain a couple of things with last week's episode, because I thought I knew what happened in last week's episode, but I was so very wrong. It's definitely for the best if you watch the episode twice or replay a couple of certain scenes. You definitely gotta do that because you will miss some information, because not only do the characters talk really fast, but they don't give you enough time to process the information because they jump from one scene to the next at the drop of a dime. Thank you for those of you last week who explained to me more of what happened with last week's episode, how the man that died, the professor that died, Professor Hashigami, I believe? Well, I'll just call him Professor for right now. He is the father of the one dude with glasses, and he also worked with the lady with glasses, and his hair was the one in the mailbox, and he was also on the news in the beginning of the episode from last week. Yeah, so if you did not know that, don't worry. I was like you once. Now, this time I decided to pay extra close attention to this episode. I didn't rewatch it twice, but I did replay quite a bit of scenes. I believe I replayed 3 scenes in this episode, so I have quite a bit of notes here. I was afraid I was going to take up a couple of pages, but you know, it's all good, and I'm here to tell you what I got out of this episode, and if I missed anything, well, then let me know, and that's totally fine, because you know what? We're not all going to get the same bit of information every episode. I can tell you that right off the bat. Unless if you rewatch the episode a bunch of times, you're not going to get everything out of this episode. Yeah, that's how bad the narrative is with Occultic 9. Not only that, but I also found out from you guys that apparently they combined all of Volume 1 into this episode. So remember how last week I was just let's see if A1 Pictures fucks this one up? They already did. But anyway, let's talk about what happened in this episode and what I was able to find. Okay, so first up, we have Miyu's fortune telling. So she does this live stream every week where she has her fans call in her distressed puppies, and then she reads them their fortune. And her fortune tellings are famous because she's spot on, because she can actually see their future. It's nothing fake and stuff like that. But this one dude who I think he was lying. I think he was lying. But the first person that called her said that how would his life be in 10 years, and we actually find out that he has cancer and only has 1 year left to live. So there's something going on with Miyu, because during that whole sequence then we saw quick flashbacks of her dad and stuff like that. We saw blood and you know, she was getting all traumatized and stuff like that, so I'm just like, okay, what happened to you? Hopefully that's not all that we get to see of her backstory, otherwise that would really suck. Next, we move on over to Yuta, who's back over where the professor's corpse is, and Yuta hears a voice and someone is contacting him. Maybe this person who's contacting him planned the entire thing, because this person tells Yuta to rip out the professor's tooth, and in the tooth is a key. Exactly. Where does this key fit? Because we see how big this key is, and it's just like, boy, you must have had one pretty long ass jaw, because that is a big ass key. Okay. I really like Agent Moritsuga, because he seems to be a double agent, acting like a detective for the one guys who are just what does manga have to do with anything and stuff like that. But then we see him on the phone with some other people, how they're trying to get, what was it? They were trying to get a list. That's what it was. And he also messed with the crime scene, because the professor had a dying message and it said code, but he erased that. Moritsuka erased it. Why? What is he planning? What are they trying to do? Why do they need this list? What's on this list? And Moritsuka is a pretty cool guy. He also seems to be an otaku himself, and we find out that this death resembles another death in a doujin. And the author of this doujin, I didn't catch her name, but we saw her before in last week's episode. She's another girl with huge opai, the shape of triangles, and she was under an umbrella, and this time we see her again crossing paths with Miu with an evil smile. So what's up with her? I wonder how much she involved herself in this whole killing thing, because honestly, I think that'd be pretty dumb if the author killed the professor in the exact same way as her doujin, because it would just be so easy to find her. That's stupid. There's no way she is the killer. She can't be, right? Now, let's go back with Miu, because during another one of her live streams, this time we have this one dude with the glasses, who, you know, his father died. We see, he calls himself Sarai, and he calls in, and he's just all like, he asks, hey, so, you know, how could you make a living from fortune telling? You know, fortune tellers usually have like another job, so how come you're making a living through fortune tellings? And Miu decides to read his fortune, and sees him talking to his dad. So we know that in the future we're going to see him talking to his father's ghost. Next we move on to Ryotas. Ryotas is very upset at Miu because she believes that Yuta is cheating on Ryotas with Miu, because, you know, Yuta is such a huge fanboy of Miu. So Ryotas goes over to Arya, the one who inflicts the curses on everyone, and she decides to place a curse on Miu of the highest degree. Okay. Ryotas, I still like her, but she's ridiculous, you know? Then we find out more with Arya. There was this one case where this younger sister kept her brother's dead body for about a year. And we later find out that that girl is Arya, the one who inflicts the curses on everyone. And now, since she does not have the mummy, the corpse anymore, she now speaks to his ghost. And Arya looks like she's made a big mistake, because whenever he comes around, he seems to be messing with people. He's killing other people as well, except her clients, but he doesn't really listen to her, so he still goes out and does it anyway. Interesting. And then the episode ends with Miu getting a text from her friend, and we see that there is a ghost in it, like a ghost hand, and we'll see a card. So I'm assuming that card is like one of her fortune-telling cards. Yeah, so Occultic 9, I'm still giving it the 3-episode test. There are a lot of times when I feel like dropping Occultic 9 because it's just so difficult to process the information, and you do have to put in a lot of work when watching Occultic 9. But I don't know, I'm kind of enjoying it. Maybe it's because I'm a sucker for when it comes to theory crafting, because I really do love to do that, guys. I mean, yesterday when it came with, you know, Lost Storage inside of Wicross, like, come on, that was totally fun. So I do love making videos like these. So I'm gonna keep on watching Occultic 9 just so I can make these kinds of videos, because I just love theory crafting. So let me know what you thought of this episode, if you're gonna still continue with Occultic 9, if you're gonna give it the 3-episode test still, or if you're just done, you just can't process information, it's over, too much work. Let me know, and if you find anything else that happened within this episode, or if you could clarify anything for me, because let's say I got my information jumbled up, it's possible, you know, I'm not gonna lie, then please clarify for me in the comments. I'm your female otaku, sayonara.